So a very good evening to all of you who are tuned into our live coverage. Welcome back. I know you missed us for the one day we weren't here. Track and field was exciting yesterday. Mona actually took the title overall. I don't have the combined scores for you. I could try to get that for you later on, but I'm sure it's been on our social media. If you haven't already liked our Instagram page, the UWI Games of 2019, you should go ahead and do so. So as you can see, the matches at St. Augustine against Crazy. The name is Keys, Devon Keys, and our commentator will be joining us shortly. So you can stay tuned to what's happening. The match has already begun, as you would have seen, 5-3 in favor of St. Augustine, and the action continues. So, as I said, we'll be having our commentator coming shortly. And look at that, Crazy certainly catching up already, 4-5. Good block there by player, looks to be number 2. Good serve there by number 4, and again, one more opportunity there for Cave Hill to gain scores. Serve again, good pickup by number 7. And again, a poor volley by number 10, bringing them to equal point. Well, 2 more points gained by Cave Hill at the moment. 5-6 the scores. Cave Hill seems to be already hungry, but it's still early. And what a dive there by number 9 on the St. Augustine side. Was a good way to start our coverage once more. And Cave Hill again gaining more points. So it's 7-5 the scores in favor of Cave Hill. Still quite early, as we would have said. St. Augustine seems to be gaining some more luck on their side, though, to ensure that the gap doesn't open up too wide. So I won't be the only voice you're hearing for this coverage. We'll have another commentator joining us in short order. But of course, we have to get things started for you once again. If you haven't done so already, ensure you check out the UWI Games social media platforms and ensure that you're keeping abreast of all the scores and other data there present. So the ball certainly being volleyed quite ardently. And St. Augustine finding their groove once more, it seems. So the score is now 7-7 across the board. That ball has left the court, which gives us Cave Hill 1 more point. 7-8 the scores. We have a first technical timeout this match with Cave Hill and St. Augustine. So the first technical timeout happening. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, if you're just joining us, welcome to our coverage of the UWI Games. For the first volleyball match actually in our series. Again, I know you missed us yesterday. We are back with the indoor volleyball taking place at the moment. So, and you joined us, I'm sure a grand time. If you're just piping in though, this is the first technical timeout taking 8-7 scores, and as usual, technical timeouts come 10-16 points respectively. So the end of the first timeout, and with that the score is 8-7 in favor of Cave Hill. St. Augustine 7 points at the moment. Once again, I'll be joined by a commentator in short order, so not to worry, I won't be the only voice that you'll be hearing. So you'll be hearing from another commentator in short order. So at the end of the first technical time, at the moment. Eight to 8, the scores. Number 2 on the St. Augustine side is about to serve. Strong serve there. And a failed attempt to have the ball over the net by Caville, giving St. Augustine an additional point. 9 to 8, the scores. And save there. Ball being volleyed. And the scores again. Well out, Cave Hill getting more points at the moment. So 9 to 9 the scores at the moment. Next they are. Number 60 now being a fairly powerful serve. Water there by Augustine. All being efficiently volleyed at the moment. But Water failed there. Number 16 was unable to get the ball over the net. So giving St. Augustine another point at the moment. 10 to 9 the scores. So far with the action taking place, we're going to expect that the match will continue to be pretty closely matched. Both teams seem to be very strong at the moment, but again this game will require endurance from both sides. And St. Augustine edging up once more. 11 to 9 the scores at the moment. Team players certainly trying to get themselves together and showing that they have the unison pack. Good serve there by number 9. Number 11 caught that pretty well. Ball being volleyed pretty high at the moment, and they get it over.
So one more point there being gained by St. Augustine. 12 to 9 the scores.
The timeout there just being called. 12 to 9 the scores. And we have our commentator at the moment. So we're being joined by Mr. O'Shane Grant. He is a volleyball player himself, former guild president. So Mr. Grant, welcome to our coverage, welcome to our commentary. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
All right, O'Shane, so the score is at the moment 12 to 9. I know you're just coming in, so I'm going to give you some time to set there and give an observation of the match. But based on your knowledge of the teams, possibly, what are you expecting from this match?
Well, the team seems very new to me. I'm looking at the Caville team, and none of these persons are not the senior players from this squad. They won the last games. St. Augustine team I know would have been very good coming into the tournament. Their coach I played against at the senior level as well, who is a very good volleyball, and I know he's going to bring an excellent team to this competition.
All right, O'Shane, so at the moment we're going to ask you to give us the ball-by-ball commentary as to what's happening on the court.
Yes. And the ball is up. The service with St. Augustine. 13 serving 9. Nice float serve. The libero passes the ball. Set. The ball is set through the middle. Lobbed over. St. Augustine to set. Ball is set outside. The ball is pushed deep to position 1. The setter dumps the ball and it scores. The libero tried significantly there to sprawl that ball into play. Ten serving 13. Caville to serve. Nice float serve. Pass. The setter sets the ball outside. She tries to swing that one line but ends up swinging it into the net. Caville to serve. She has a nice float serve. She floats the ball to position 6. Setter sets. Left-handed spiker spikes the ball straight down to position 6. Then there's a net call from referee Seymour. The first referee, Waugh, saw both referees yesterday. They officiated the semi-final games in the club league. St. Augustine to serve. Serve deep to position 1. The setter sets the right side. She spikes from C. Ball spit up high on the attack line. Cross court. And the setter for the second play now, she gets her name on the score sheet once again. Just volleying the ball across the net. And St. Augustine have to learn to defend against those. They've been waiting for the 3 plays and she just keep making it 2 plays and it's working. Nice serve to position 5. And the outside attacker fails to pass the ball, which is not norm. As an outside attacker, your primary duty is passing and hitting. And she goes back again to position 5. The setter sets the right side. She rolls the ball long to position 1. Quite a kill there, coming from the left-handed attacker from St. Augustine team. The number 3 from Kayville tried significantly to defend that ball. Based on the lineup, she's one of the outside attackers based on the rotation that we're seeing. And it's a high serve, and the ball is outside. I see one of the line judges, Tafari Tolo, one of my teammates, had an excellent game yesterday in the club league semifinals. Good pass there from the libero. Ball is set outside. She cranks that one cross court, defended, but goes right back across the net. She sets the middle attacker score, and that's a kill. The middle blocker from Kayville team did very well there just now. She did her job. She didn't stop block the ball. She slowed down the ball. It was up to the libero and the player at 6 to defend those. The libero was actually off the court. So it was a position 6 defender who is an outside attacker who should have defended that ball. Timeout called by the Kayville team.
The action you're seeing on the court thus far, what's your take on the match? Do you expect to see the same?
I think for now it's an even Steven. I think it's now 18-14. The volleyball game goes right up to 25 points. It must win by 2 clear points. I have lost a game in this gymnasium 2 weeks ago. We were leading by 10 points and we lost the game 25-23. So it's not as you would expect in like a basketball or netball game where the score is way ahead and anything can happen. It's a very technical sport. You could touch the ball, it's a double, it's the next team point. You can lift the ball, it's fault on the play. So there are a lot of things to look forward to in the volleyball game.
Certainly, so for our viewers, I just want to let them know that Mr. Grant is a volleyball player for the University of the West Indies Mona campus. And do you have any other teams that you play for?
Well, I used to play for the Vikings team, retired from the national senior squad a couple of years ago because of guild politics and all the other things that I'm involved in. But I still play for the club team. And it's my love, volleyball.
So the man certainly is befitting the seat, not just the politician seat, but the seat as an analyst that we have him in today. So back to the action on the court.
Well, that was a rocket of a serve coming from the number 10 from the St. Augustine team, who served to the libero, who is supposed to be the best passer, best receiver on the team. That's her primary role. This time she gets it up. The setter dig sets outside. She hits the ball cross court, and I think it's outside. And you see the other line judge there, Mr. Timar Litolo, also plays middle for the UWI Volleyball Club. Scored the winning point yesterday and left the gymnasium at GC Foster in a frenzy. Big fellow. The St. Augustine team seems to be very heavy strapped. I also see Miss Cheryl Daly on the bench, who retired from the Jamaica senior program, I think in 2010. Excellent outside attacker. So I know the depth of the St. Augustine team. The Kayville team will never roll over and just lose. They will always put up a fight. They won it at home in 2017. The UWI female team won it in St. Augustine in 2015. But on the male side of things, it's always a trade-off between the Kayville team and the Mona team. We won here in 2013. They have the same coach. They defeated us in 2015 in St. Augustine, and last time around in 2017 we defeated them. We had to come back from a 2-0 down to win the tournament. So I can tell you it's going to be very exciting stuff.
All right, so you're hearing it from the expert himself, and he's going to continue to give us some of the action on the court. But let me put you into the player's seat once more. As a player,
the libero have to do better in terms of receiving those balls. She's a primary passer, and I know the coach will be telling her that she needs to get behind the ball, get her platform correct, and get the ball in. Sometimes you don't necessarily have to nail the pass, you just need to get the ball up. And that's the position I play, so it's not an easy one. Shanks that pass.
all right, so in this phase of the match as a player, what would be the thought process on either side of the court?
Well, if I'm Cavill and Bissals, I'm the libero, what I do is I swing myself out of the pass. Sometimes you have to know when time to just, it's not your day, you're not having a good game. You just have to call it and take yourself out of the pass. Allow other players to get some of the ball and get back yourself in a mental space where you're comfortable in passing the ball. Sometimes you have to just say, here what, I'm out. But as the libero, you have to be brave in doing that because you don't want the team to lose confidence if your strongest passer is taking himself out of the pass. And that's a good full serve, solid, perfect pass, overpasses the ball. And the line judge, Mr. Tafari Tolo, signals out for that ball. And the official, the first official, was agreeing and assuring the captain from the St. Augustine team that it was indeed out.
And viewers, if you're wondering how familiar that name sounds, he was our analyst for basketball the last time you would have heard from us. So he's certainly showing his multifaceted skill set. So O'Shane, back to what's happening on the court.
Ball is set outside. Foreplay. There was no block there just now. She did attempt a cross-court shot, but she didn't leave the ground. She stood on the ground to spike the ball, which is not what persons will tell you to do or your coach will ever tell you to do. You need to step off the court, get an approach, and swing through the ball. Pick your shot, pick your spot on the court where you want to put it. And it's Cavill to serve. And I think that's outside. She needs to relax and serve. She has 8 seconds to serve. The whistle went and she didn't even use 2 seconds. She just swung her hand into the ball and expected it to give her a power of a serve. 8 seconds.
But when you say this eager nature is natural, in sport the adrenaline is pumping and you want to get it going. You want to try and maximize on the time to catch up the other opponent. Wouldn't you say that that's natural?
Not so easily said, because volleyball is played in split seconds, and especially for the female, the tempo is way slow. You have 8 seconds to serve. 8 seconds. It's a hell of a time. Some persons have complete routines that they have to do with the ball first. She's playing with the ball before she serves. And players have different things that they do. See, she knows she has 8 seconds. Take the time, relax, and deliver a serve. That is how you play the game.
Strategy.
I think the referee is about to call a reach. And that's it. He called a reach, said she reached on the play. And I can see Sean signaling there, the coach from St. Augustine, that she should have just went straight up with a block instead of trying to reach. And you see what I told you about the patience when serving. You just need to know you have 8 seconds. Now I don't understand what happened there just now. The outside attacker from the St. Augustine team stepped out of her rotation to spike a ball that was set to the right side at C. Now St. Augustine was leading, remember, before by 5 points. Now it's 22-20. And your race is to 25. As I said to you before, the game is never over until you get to 25 points. And St. Augustine team is starting to feel the pressure. That's why they take the time out.
Definitely so, but you would have missed the first section of the match, and it was actually like this initially. So we had St. Augustine leading first, and then just before the first technical timeout at 8 points, you had Cavill actually matching them neck and neck. So at one point it was 8-6, 8-7 rather. Then it got to 8-8, so they were neck and neck, and then St. Augustine once more actually advanced even further, but again Cavill has regrouped and closed the gap.
Momentum.
Closing the gap, certainly, but we'll see how the match pans out.
Momentum. Volleyball is a very violent sport. They greet each other at the net first and say, hey, I'm going to send some missiles at you. And you say, hey, I'm going to send back some at you. This who can send consistent missiles across the net. So I can send you a consistent missile. Can you defend it? Can you continuously defend my ball? That's how it works. And she has a cracker of a serve. And she is feeling it. She's feeling that serve. You realize her float over is very strong. There's no spin on the ball when it leaves her hand. And you can hear her hand going straight through the ball. Cracker. And she makes excellent use of those 8 seconds. Excellent. Excellent pass. She sets the middle blocker. And that's a kill. Most teams, whenever it is that you get a decent pass, a perfect pass, they set their middle attacker. While some players would say, like Andre Fortis, McLean would tell you that that's a perfect ball to not set the middle attacker. Most times, if not ever, your middle attacker gets blocked. And the libero must do better than that. The libero must deliver those passes. It's game point 21. The libero needs to pass the ball. At that height, the ball is definitely going outside. Overpass. Wow. Good defending there from libero. And that's a double. That's a double right there. And you don't expect the first official war to miss those things. Himself recently played on the national senior team, I think up to 2011, 2012, 2013 was still the libero for the national team actually. A soldier by profession, and good pass there. The ball is dig set outside. She uses her left hand and gets it across. And that all comes down to communication. Communication. You're trailing the ball, you're running. Your teammate says mine, respect the call, and just leave it.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to ask you just before we got to the end of this round here, what are some of the important strategies that the teams must consider before going into any match? So Shane, the pause in his response is because he's conversing with a beautiful lady here who is one of the officials for the match. So he would have heard the question, so he's going to respond at the moment.
I mean, there's something called scouting that you do at the national level. So you scout a team. So you go and you watch your training session, or you watch your games, or you try to get clips of them playing, and you see, all right, in this particular situation, they like to set the ball outside, or they like to go into the right side, they like running through the middle. So you'd probably say to your blockers, we need to stop the hit that is coming through the middle. So you stop the middle blocker, stack up the blockers on the middle attacker from the opposing team. And if it is that you're a good passing team, you basically said, here what, nothing is going to touch the court. We're going to pass the ball, and as soon as you get that pass up, it's the setter's job is to distribute the ball. And long as those things are working well, then you need to know what to do. Like a while ago on that play, if it were the UWI men's team, the A team, a ball that is shanked like that and Ricardo Chungs give chase, I give chase, but I keep myself 2 paces behind him, because he just needs to hear my voice, and I say, here. He no longer tries to pop the ball straight across them. He pops it up in the air and get to put the ball across. Or Delford is chasing as well. But we never run directly into each other. It's almost like running side by side and giving space, because you don't know where the person touch the ball is going to go. And if it is that the ball is off the net, many a times our setter is coming to set the ball and somebody just says, my set. And you have to respect the call.
So communication is certainly a big part of playing any sport, but this sport in particular is very pivotal, especially because the efforts from each member of the team has a sum total to the outcome basically of the match for any side.
It's an ultimate team sport. The only phase of the game that you're an I person is when you're serving. When you're serving is the only time it's about you. And there's some players who don't allow you that opportunity to make it about yourself either. If you're supposed to watch at the net and see them put their hands behind each other, they use finger signs. So they tell you, serve the position 1, serve the position 5. Or even when you're blocking, a lot of communications happen. A man said, I'm going to block cross court. So you know the block is going cross court. So you have to set the defense for cross court. There are a number of things that goes on into playing the game. So St. Augustine is up 1 set. best of 5. You have to win by 3 clear sets. At this particular time, only thing Cavell should be thinking about is playing this set. Forget about the set that is fast. We're going to play this set. Win this set, and you know you have 2 more sets to play.
Alright.
They lose this set, they know there's only 1 more set to play, and if they don't win that set, that's game over. So right now, it's about getting even, Steven. St. Augustine have 1 precious set to protect. Protect that 1 set, move on, and try to see if we can get the second set and play each set at a time. The game is far from over.
Alright, certainly so. Far from over. The second set is about to get underway. Based on the action, we're expecting both teams to put their best feet forward, their best action on the court. Again, if you're just joining us, it's our first volleyball match coverage in this, the 31st staging of the UWI Games, and Mr. Grant here, O'Shane Grant, former guild president and volleyball man himself, is here to give us the commentary.
Ball set through the middle, and it's down the throat of the middle blocker from Cavell. And you do see that happening number of times from St. Augustine team. Whenever it is that there is a good pass going up, the setter will go to the middle striker. Give her up. And St. Augustine rotation 2. Ball set outside. Big set. The left-hander spikes ball cross court, received by the libero. The setter sets a ball, and she's the same play. Outside set. And the ball is off the block. Outside. 2 serving nil. St. Augustine to serve. Relax. Get the ball over the net. Then depend on your team to put up the blocks. Excellent serve. That is something that you work very hard, and in training coaches will tell you avoid serving the ball straight down the middle of the court. Serve to position 1 or position 5, and she served a perfect ball to position 1. Those are very difficult to pass.
And what's the preparation like for servers? Are there particular drills that individuals would have to do to become more averse to that kind of role particularly?
Well, outside of coach telling that we're going to the serving now and go to stand on the baseline, the coach will tell you where to serve to, or he'll put markers over there and say you have to serve within those areas. And on average, every training session you probably serve about 500 balls as a team. And if it is that you're going to look on individual serving, you probably serve about 50 of those yourself. And a squad is normally 18 to 22 persons, so a lot of serving take place. And your teammates as well will live up in a fear of your serve, because sometimes the coach will not put a marker or a zone for you to serve to, but he will put your teammates over there, and it's a serving drill. So you serve their pass, and the setter will always stand in the middle of the net and approach the ball at his pass and set the ball outside, set the ball in the middle, set the ball behind, with nobody actually hitting the ball. It's just part of the training. It's a sport that requires a lot of repetition. So if you continue to practice the skills, after a while you develop muscle memory. So a number of things just like, okay, some persons don't even know that they're booming the ball 3 times before serving, but they have been doing it for so long, it's just boom, boom, stop, wait and lose.
All right, so you have a bit of biology coming into play here, talking about muscle memory and muscle retention. So we're going to get back to what's happening on the court, but before we even start, what's the most difficult position do you think to play in volleyball for any individual?
There's only one I cannot play, so I'd probably say middle. Excellent spike there. Ball set to the right side. She hits the ball straight down to position 6. Ball is big set. The left-hander goes outside. Ball is outside. Very funny stuff there. The outside attacker spiking the ball outside. Straight to the corner of position 4. At that opportunity, you want to spike to the longest area of the court. You want to go long cross court. You get to see more of the court. Better chance of getting the ball in. Strong serve. Excellent pass. Ball set outside. Good spike going cross court. But she could not keep that ball from hitting the roof. And I know St. Augustine must be feeling the burden of this, where the roof at them is very low. St. Augustine, you're playing, that's a good ball. It's never hitting the roof. Oh, tough luck. Serves in the net. The toughest position to play is middle blocker. So you have to be a giant. Outside of being a giant, you have to have excellent footwork. You're always jumping, you're always running. You have to be a part of every block. Sometimes you run to get a spike. Your only job is to create a diversion, and somebody else cannot stop moving. You have to always be running and jumping convincingly, so that opponents can believe that you're going to be the one getting the ball. And maybe 1 out of 10 times that you actually run, that's only the one time you get the ball to spike. But when you do get that ball, you have to establish yourself, bounce it in the court. So when the next time you run, your opponents know they must run with you, because they don't know if they're going to get the ball, and they don't want to give you a free net. They don't want to give a free net. And that's where the setter comes. The setter's job is to create net space. So he will call it to come for a 6-1. But really and truly, the plan and set the ball to the right side. Good defending there. Outside. It's a total team sport. And you try to hide the signs from your opponent. So you don't want the opponent to know what call is it that you're telling your teammates to come for. You just try and hide it. And maybe only 2 of you on the team know what the call going to be, but it's just a diversion. The libero pass is a very nice ball.
And there we have it. So lots of excitement taking place here at the first volleyball match. It's a full house. And we're hearing lots of cheers and lots of touts being made by the different team supporters at the moment.
8-7-4.
Things are going to get back on track, and Mr. Grant is going to give us his take as to what's going to come up next.
Number 3 from the St. Augustine team to serve. Excellent shot there from the right side attacker. And she swings that one clear into position 1. Opposite from the Kville team to serve. She serves that one outside. Now that is what I'm telling you about waiting. 8 seconds, you don't need to rush it. Yeah, you can rush it if it is that you plan on catching the St. Augustine team off guard, but you must ensure that you get the ball in the court. You don't get the ball in the court, the team don't have a chance. 9-5. That was a good float serve, just went right outside, which would have been the difficulty in that serve. You want to get the ball inside the court. I can see members of the Mona female team inside the gymnasium already. I think they have the next game. And Kville really and truly is helping St. Augustine to have an easy ride this afternoon as they continue to serve the ball outside in the net. Those things give your opponent easy points. You don't want to look on the scorecard afterwards and realize that, hey, I lost the first set 25-22, but guess what? I had 7 serving errors, so I gave them 7 points. And this time around, I can tell you that for the last 3 servers from the Kville team, they all serve the ball outside or in the net. So 3 of those points are good. Right there. I haven't seen that in a while, where you come together as a team and raise your hand when you block somebody and say, ooh. That's like saying you have a whole roof above your head. Very disrespectful things to say to your opponent. But there should be no talking across the net, so you can use your gestures on your side. And she served that one right outside.
But you mentioned some tactical downfalls or technical downfalls of side Kville so far. Are you seeing any on side St. Augustine that you think could use some brushing up?
Most definitely. As you said, she needs to move her legs. You see the ball coming, you see it's a float serve, you see the ball dipping, don't stretch to the ball. Move your legs and step to the ball, get your body behind it, keep a platform and pass the ball. The setter keeps setting the ball dead in the middle of the net when she's trying to set the ball outside. And again, as I said before, Kville keeps contributing to the points. of St. Augustine. Not by spiking errors, not by blocking errors, not by netting, not by doubling, but by simply not serving the ball. If you don't serve the ball, you don't have a chance. It's like scratch and win. Serving is your first scratch, your first chance to win.
I was just going to say, it's like the lotto. You don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance. So you don't have a serve. If you don't serve, you don't have a chance.
And the ball keeps dying right out there. Outside. Good rally. And that's a double. So they contribute a point to St. Augustine. Just that this time around, they double the ball.
Almost just isn't enough.
So already you have the Kville team with 5 serving errors. So if you should minus those 5 serving errors from their team, that means at the end of the day, the game would have been 8-all. That's an excellent serve, excellent pass, excellent set, excellent receive. That ball is going right outside. I think the Kville coach is having a little laugh. There's a St. Augustine player that chased the ball, because the rule is if the ball travels outside while traveling across the court, then you can't receive it. But if you walked behind the serving area, behind the pole there, then she could have went for it. He's just like, why are you wasting your time? If the ball didn't travel behind the pole, where are you running to?
A bit of humor on the court there.
Kville to serve. Let's just hope they actually serve the ball this time around. Excellent serve. Excellent serve. Excellent serve there from the setter. But this is Kville's strongest rotation, where their opposite is in front court. She didn't serve the ball though, but she does spike the ball very well.
(14-11) the scores.
What I'm not understanding is why the Kville blockers keep setting the block outside when the ball isn't going outside. The ball is set inside the court. All they need to do is chase, stop, play in that position, and zone inside the block. Excellent pass here from the libero. The setter should have jump set that ball, but I see her knees are heavily strapped, so that may explain the reason why she didn't jump set there just now. One thing's for sure, she couldn't have dumped the ball because she's in the back court. That would have been a violation. Good serve. I'm surprised that Ward didn't call that set. Wasn't the cleanest of sets. Just a little pokey shot right there. And we have a technical timeout.
With the second technical timeout here. 16-11 the scores in favor of St. Augustine. The road to 25 in this set. That's how it is at the moment. Certainly Team St. Augustine is being riled at the moment to cheer on their team. Kville not looking so excited right now. Seeing some players sitting. I'm also seeing spectators looking as if they're not so sure how this match is going to go, but as Mr. Grant rightfully said earlier, it's anybody's game still, but St. Augustine maybe just a little hungrier with one match in their favor already. Best of 5 the competition. So
at this particular time, as a coach from St. Augustine, all team want to say to the team is push point, keep those passes coming up, put up those blocks, and when you get the chance to swing, just swing and aim for the court and score the ball. You're the coach and the Kville team, you want to shout at the team, but at the same time, I want to say to them, we need to serve, we need to serve, we need to pass the ball, and we need to stop, we need to block. We need to block. And as I said, we need to pass. We need to pass. If you don't pass the ball, the setter can't set you anything. You must pass the ball.
That message brought to you by Coach O'Shane Grant. But he's now in the analyst seat 17-11 the score.
I'm not sure I'm ready to take up the whole coaching role. That would confirm that I'm getting old, and I really think I have more playing years left in me. And St. Augustine with a serving error, serving that ball straight outside, going over position 6. And St. Augustine takes out the 10 for the 12. Excellent pass. And the Caville setter chooses there to set her middle blocker, who kills the ball. It's been a while since I've seen Caville celebrate it so lively during this set, and they indeed got something to celebrate for. And you heard a while ago the teammates of St. Augustine saying, out, out, out. That's how communication comes in. Libero was getting ready to pass the ball, and they were just saying, out, 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 and she leaves it. Easy points.
Easy points there, and as Jen is saying, Cave keeps giving St. Augustine the points. It's almost as if they plan to just give them away.
And that's where the libero comes into play. Whole lot of diving involved in this game. You have to be very flexible. In my younger days, I would say I was very flexible. These days, with the fat and age, it's very difficult to keep up.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, when we get some time, I'm going to have O'Shane come on camera so you can see him. He's describing himself as fat, and I saw a post from him at one point saying that the politics has contributed to his gain of weight. But I mean, I'm sure, O'Shane, you'll find some way of having it balanced out and your body being back to your prior days of slimness, one would argue.
Well, I'm told by my friends that it comes with age as well, so no worries. Oh no. Sometimes you don't have to go for the big swing. Sometimes you just need to tip the ball, roll the ball, and she's way above the blocker.
All right, so at this moment, I want to give a big shout out once again to those tuned in. We have 104 persons viewing or live from all around the region. St. Augustine and Caville campus playing this match. 19-14 the scores. And big shout out to everyone if you're just joining us. Welcome to this our live coverage. Our first volleyball match being covered here for UWI Games. It's just day 4. We had exciting track and field yesterday and more action coming live. O'Shane Grant, our commentator, Javon Keys. I'm just a man here trying to guide the conversation, but I'm leaving it to the expert to make the calls on the court.
And I'm sure if you saw that shot a while ago, going cross-court from the Caville team, that was a sweet shot. Almost directly into the apex. Those things are very difficult to defend against. The libero was lost. And Caville to serve. They deliver a good serve. St. Augustine set. And that was traveling outside. And as I said before, I'm not sure why is it that the coach from the Caville team have not changed his blocking approach. They have stepped inside the court some more to defend against that serve, but we still find that the ball is coming more and more inside and the blockers are drifting further and further outside.
So 20-15 points on the scoreboard. St. Augustine being favored at the moment. Caville 15 points, 5 points behind St. Augustine.
And that's where those serving errors come into play now. No room for error. Excellent serve. Good pass there from the libero. This is a very strong rotation for the Caville team. The setter is now in front court, which means the setter is live. The setter can jump and dump the ball, which she does very well. That was a free net just now. The blocker did not block. And you saw the defender from position 6 sprawling across the court to try and save that ball.
And we're having a substitute, number 4, Being
I
soft
do
to
believe
number
this is
20 at the moment.
I would say, and I think this timeout is more of a technical one based on the class of server. Somebody must go to the ball. Communication is key. Communication is key. We can't all be looking at the ball and wondering who is going to pass it. Somebody must pass it. Serving 21. Caville traditionally is an excellent serving team. I don't know what is happening.
It's probably the bleaky weather here at the moment. For those not in Jamaica, we're experiencing a bit of overcast conditions outside. Hopefully we'll have some rain based on the drought conditions we're experiencing here.
And that's an ace from the St. Augustine team. Caville takes the timeout.
But hopefully it's not going to be too bleakly here for either teams. St. Augustine still being favored at the moment. 23 scores for them, 17 scores for the Blackboard. The Blackbirds. That's the Cave Hill team, they call themselves such.
You have to be careful now. You can't mess up the names, you know, because that's my second campus. I fully enjoyed my time and my visits to the Cave Hill campus. Always treated me well. So I want for them to do very well in these games, but I've been telling them for months now that the team that will come out victorious is the Mona team. I saw a tweet this morning from Charisse, who was a student at Cave Hill doing law not UWI in Trinidad, and she was saying if there's one thing she wants to ensure that Cave Hill wins is cricket, so she can shout out in my face. And I had to remind her that when she hosted the games and all her student fees, we always run a joke that their student fees are spent on cricket, but still they lost the game to Mona. So I do know that even the past students are in on the action outside. Cave Hill is being very charitable today. They just keep feeding those points to St. Augustine. St. Augustine haven't to work for any of these points. Excellent serve. Ace serve.
And that brings us to the end of this set. Two sets now in favor of St. Augustine. 2 sets in favor of St. Augustine. Not too late though for the Blackbirds to come and redeem themselves, but are you expecting that to happen?
Because as a volleyballer, I can't count out a team. One of the main reasons is 2013, Mona lost 2 sets against Cave Hill. Final game to decide who takes volleyball. Cave Hill is roaring high. The end all result, Mona won the game 3-2. The game isn't over until you have 3 sets in the bag. You have 2 sets in the bag for St. Augustine. I'm sure Sean and I'm sure Shirley is saying to them, you're close to the prize. Let's close out this game. Let's close out the game. I'm sure the coach on KV is saying it's not one person's fault. It's everybody's fault. Everybody is the reason why the team is performing like this, and everybody needs to step up the game. Everybody must step up. So those things are very, very important. And you can't play around now. KV now have very little room for error.
All right, so we have to be trying to reduce the number of errors that they make in the next,
especially those service errors,
set, to ensure that they try to maximize on points, and hopefully they'll be able to gain 2 more sets to balance the scores out, basically. But St. Augustine is certainly putting themselves into favor at the moment.
It's not impossible. I know I went clear back to 2013, but 2017, our last game of the tournament was against Cave Hill. And St. Augustine was cheering loud for Cave Hill because Cave Hill was leading 2 sets. And if Cave Hill had won the game, St. Augustine would have won volleyball overall. And we came back and we won the game 3-2. Now, it's all about what the coach is telling you now. And outside of the coach isn't on the court. The set of players on the court need to say to each other now, "Dawg, I have your back." I mean, Shane coming to me and say, "Oh shit, just give me the ball. Just pass it." And I know my only job was to pass it. And he said, "Mark, we're coming to you. Clarky, we're coming to you." So at that particular time, nobody needs to bury themselves and say, it's my fault. At that particular time, so everybody to say, I have your back. You have my back. And we're going to do it as a team.
We're certainly going to do it. And as we're doing it here with the action, I want to give a shout out once more to those our viewers. You have some fans here in the comments. One, Janet Satney is giving you some shout outs, commending you on your commentary. But we have to shout out everybody who's tuned in. And we thank you so much for joining us for our coverage. And we're happy we're able to bring it to you live. The third set is about to get underway. 2 sets already in favor of St. Augustine. Cave Hill has some work to do.
I think for the Blackbirds, they have a thing that they say, all fly, all soar. They're in rotation 1. The libero should be saying to herself at this moment, serve the ball to me, give me the ball. I can pass it. Outside. She spikes the ball in. And I think we're going to see a very different Cave Hill team this set. I can sense the attitude coming from the team. The setter seems ready, and she looks like she's ready to lead this squad.
All right, and they're going to definitely want to come with a different kind of action on court for this round.
And that's what you need. You need persons slowing down. Good set, excellent set. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but the 15 that spiked the ball from Cave Hill, her sister will be playing shortly for the Mona team. I know that they are roaring to play against each other.
Interesting, and rightfully so. It's good to have some sibling rivalry in our sports here. I mean, it's natural that they'll both be anticipating matching up against each other to see possibly which sibling is better or which team is better. So that's good to have that kind of camaraderie happening in any sport at all.
Both young ladies would have played for the Bellies junior team, and I do know that the sister that plays for the Mona team matriculated into the senior program last summer. So I know it's going to be a hot competition between them, and she really don't want to look bad in front of her sister.
And rightfully so, rightfully so.
The ball is outside on the antenna. And you see there that the lines judge and the first referee, they're in sync with the call, and he gives him the thumb up. Excellent call, excellent watching. Cave Hill to serve. Very good serve. Ball going to set through the middle. As expected, as expected. And if you look, the 2 wing blockers are standing outside. You see that happening, you need to cheat. You need to start cheating inside. Go put up a hand. Go give a helping hand. I mean, I'm sure the coach would have said it to them that you have to watch the middle. You must stop the middle blocker. But they're not translating it on the court.
Oh, it's a 3-0 now.
But I'm not a betting man, but if I was supposed to bet, I'd bet for this set to go to Cave Hill.
But I'm sure that the betting people in our midst are certainly
Good serve.
watching keenly to see whether or not their bet would be wanted to give them money. But
And you see the other sister there stamping her class. She needs to take some of it off that serve though. He was traveling dangerously outside a while ago. And she gives the same serve. Excellent pass. Outside set. Cross court. Excellent shot going cross court. Excellent shot. And that's a difficulty. When you're defending those, you can't try to defend them to nail them. You just need to get the ball up. You have to see it faster. You have to react faster. Excellent pass. Cross court again. Now that time around, you could say the defender that should be defending 6, which at this case is number 15, was too high in the court. You should be standing on the baseline. You should be standing in the baseline. You hear the coach saying you're too high in the court. The ball off the block, you have to be deep 6 to get that ball. Good set. She's hitting under the ball. She needs to jump at that ball and swing through the ball. Hitting under the ball is just going to travel up and out. Can't hit under the ball. You need to jump and hit on top of the ball, hit through the ball. She does better this time around. She got away with that one. That was a very lucky one, because if that ball had stopped right there, then I'm sure the crowd would have started laughing. They say so relaxed and casual. But it trickled across the net and they got a point.
But is it so relaxed and casual, or is it being tired? Endurance is a big part of any sport that goes on for a number of rounds. And would you say endurance is going to be a big part of?
That's where training comes into play. Training comes into play. You're playing a game. The game goes to 5 sets. The game can last up to 2 hours. You train for more than 2 hours. Your body should be conditioned to play. They should be in the prime of their playing career now, ready to play.
So the first technical timeout in this. So Augustine on 8. Hazel on 5.
The complexion of the Kville team have changed significantly. The St. Augustine team is still doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Push point, push point, push point. What Kville don't want to do is to fall in the trap to say that we're trading points. You don't want that to happen. What they want is to get a run and keep that run.
So I have a bit of cheering happening in the crowd at the moment. The supporters seem to be for St. Augustine, and they're keeping the excitement going in this technical timeout. And the technical timeout now comes to an end.
There's a wicked cheer off going on now.
Still in favor.
The Kville crowd is trying to silence the St. Augustine crowd. The St. Augustine crowd gave a little small answer a while ago, but Kville has always been a very vibesy team. I remember them cheering against me in 2017, and after beating them, we stole their cheer and used it back against them. And I'm sure there's a lot of bad blood there, but we're still friends.
And at the end of the day, we are one UWI, so despite us playing in different sports against each other, it's still one UWI at the end of the day. So good sportsmanship.
Access, alignment, and agility.
That's right. Our strategic plan coming up. If you were aware of UWI, we are in the phase of strategic planning now. We have a new strategic plan that we're working towards getting UWI to a place of streamlined excellence. So, hear the man, Mr. Grant, there, using that, the tagline, as a part of our streamlined strategic plan. So, scores at the moment 10-5 in favor of St. Augustine.
Excellent serve coming there. I'm counting on it. And she serves the ball outside. That's her first service error for this evening. And Kville continue on their same path, where they just enjoy giving St. Augustine points. Excellent shot there coming from St. Augustine. She was hitting for the cross court, ball touched right off the block, but did not go beyond zone 3. Timeout is being called by Caville. I'm not sure as a coach, what is it that you say to your team at this moment? You'd have said it to them in the first set, in the second set, before going into the third set, you'd have said it to them. How do you get them to translate all that conversation that takes place on the sideline into playing?
So you're thinking from a coach's perspective, but from a player's perspective, what's going through the mind of side Cave Hill?
I'm sure some of them are just like, we must can get this over with. Make it done already. Some of them may be saying to themselves, we have already lost. But you may have going through the psyche of 1 or 2, 3 players saying, we can do this, we can come back, let's fight, ladies, let's fight. And you have to put up a fight. You're not going to roll over and play dead, especially as a former champion, especially as a defending champion. You don't want to roll over and play dead.
All right, no playing dead here. More action.
St. Augustine to serve. 12, serving 6. Excellent pass here from the libero. And the setter just now, instead of choosing to set the ball, she dumps the ball. Now, since watching the game itself, I've seen her dump about 5 balls. She has scored 3 of those 5. So I think her scoring percentage may be greater than the person than those that she's setting the ball to. And that's a net violation from St. Augustine. And I think she has gotten her frustrated where it's just like, all right, I'll dump the ball. You guys not scoring. But she does not. What she don't want is to become predictable.
Because predictability is certainly something that will cause a downfall for any team.
And you see there St. Augustine setter dishing out a little of the medicine that Caville setter love to dish out, and she just shook her head like, oh, I can't defend against that. But you know the setter is live. You say to your team, live setter. You say to the person that is playing outside, your setter. So you always have an eye on the setter. A live setter is a dangerous setter. Ball dug up there by the libero. Set outside. Not a good set. Ball set through the middle. And she's going to kill that. Every day she's going to kill that. I keep saying it. Good pass. Ball set in through the middle. Kill. We have to stop against that shot. St. Augustine to serve. And that's a crack of a float serve. Good serve. Free ball. Ball set through the middle. Sets out. Setter swings the ball across court. The libero to dig set. The ball spiked through the middle. Defended by the libero from Caville. Ball set outside. She cranks that wall. Was shooting all the way outside. She did her best to try and bring out the ball in, but one could argue that should she had stepped off the court and got a different approach, she could have had a chance of swinging at it. And we have a technical timeout. It's the second technical timeout for this set.
So 16-8 the scores in favor of St. Augustine. Half the points. Cave Hill needs half the points that St. Augustine has to catch up. St. Augustine has two sets rather in favor of them. So Cave Hill certainly has lots of work to do. It's a fuller scene here at the gymnasium right here at UWI Mona. It's day 4 of our coverage of UWI Games 2019, the 31st staging happening. And persons have indeed turned out. The stands are full and the excitement is still brewing. So Mr. Grant, going into the next part of the match, what's your expectation? Do you think that Cave Hill will find some more strength to even things out a bit?
At this particular time, it's the coach has nothing to do with it. It's just about the players out there on the court. They just have to say to themselves, we can get the job done. They need to lift the head. They need to start fighting. They need to fly. That's all fly, all soar. They need to try and fly now.
And for St. Augustine, what do you think they need to tighten up to keep the streak going?
Well, St. Augustine we haven't really been tested. Nice big set going there. Ball set outside, and she killed the ball going down the line. They haven't been forced to, we haven't seen them play as it. They haven't been forced to play as it. For moments we see Caville put up something and say, all right, try and defend against this, play against this. So right now, St. Augustine should be just saying, continue serving, saying to the persons at the net, we need blocks at the net, we need stops at the net. And as long as you get those things done, it should be a better game. And that's the difference. St. Augustine team is ready to play. They're serving the ball, they're not making a lot of errors. And that's what they need. So at this particular time, they should be saying, all right, let us close this game out and get ready to play against Mona. Let us close this game out and get ready to play against Open Campus. We have 2 more games to go. That's what they should be saying to themselves.
So I'm seeing a comment here by one Simone Chinchoy saying that the St. Augustine team is actually not accustomed to this kind of environment because they are accustomed to playing in air-conditioned spaces. I'm not sure if that would be the case for Cave Hill, but would you think that the environment, not having an air-conditioned court compared to a space where it's just free-flowing air, does that make a difference?
Let me just say that it's the Caribbean. Everybody's used to sun, everybody's used to heat. What I'd say for the St. Augustine team about their playing condition is that Spec is a lovely place to be in. Spec is a massive place to be in. We at Mona wish we had a Spec. Hey, hint, you will give us a Spec. Give Mona a Spec. So they're used to that sort of condition. I see them dig up a few balls that hit the roof. If they were playing at home, as I said earlier, that wouldn't have happened to them. Air condition or not, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. You still have to get warm in the air condition. You still have to play in it. You're going to stay sweating in the air condition anyways. So right about now, it's just about them holding nerves and playing the game. And the setup from the KVL team is not making it easier for the team. The ball is going up and nothing's happening. And I see a change being made, and the change is not to pull the setup, but to pull the middle blocker. The middle blocker is limping, so maybe something is indeed wrong with the middle blocker.
Number 5 sub for number 7 and number 17 for number 9. But on the note of conditions, just letting those big know that it's a pretty cool day here in Jamaica. Very cool conditions here. So it's not quite hot, the ambient temperature. But back to the court.
Ball set to the right side, and she dinks the ball. Good save there by the libero. Ball is lobbed. Setter sets the ball through the middle. And that's a kill. It's a kill right there. And the coach also pulls the setter. (21) serving 8. Nice big set. Ooh. And she gets a very big block, and you see them raise the roof on her just now. The setter from St. Augustine have been serving for a while. And she holds her face as she loses her serve. But she has nothing to be ashamed of. I'm sure if she gets another run like that in the competition, she's maybe likely on her way to getting the award for best server, female. So I know even individually persons have their targets. You want to be the best passer, you want to be the best server, you want to be the best attacker, the best blocker. So there are individual trophies to be won as well.
And
excellent
that certainly
pass.
adds
Excellent set.
incentives towards play.
And Caville is putting up some fight. Ball set to the right side. She spikes the ball in the tape. Now, she didn't have an approach. I'm not sure if she was expecting the set, but it died on the way going outside there. So you can see Sean also signaling that the set died before it got to the spiker. But if the set is dead, just try and get the ball over the net. Excellent serve from Caville. Now one would ask, where was this server all along? Where was this play all along? On the bench.
Caveville getting their groove. Caveville getting their groove. They're 22-11 the points now. This is the third set taking place.
If Caveville makes this comeback, it will be one for the history books.
You've heard it from
Excellent serve.
Commentator there, O'Shane Grant.
Always, always. There's a perfect pass. Who's getting the set? The middle blocker will get the set. So I think one of the things that even the open campus team looking on at this game should be doing is scouting. The Mona team is scouting. You want all the coaches now are looking and say, all right, when I play against St. Augustine, this is what I'm going to have to do. When I play Caveville, this is what I'll have to do. So I mean, this game isn't just about the one that is playing now, but the one that's going to be played afterwards. So I mean, it's far from over. You may end up seeing Caveville winning the volleyball competition.
Ah. Well, as I've been saying, Mr. Grant is the man with the knowledge, with the man with the analytical skills for the game. So he's made his call, and it's gonna be down to exactly what takes place on the court. So it's 25-11, two sets in favor of St. Augustine, and because we have St. Augustine winning there, the match comes to an end. So ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the match, 25-11, the scores in favor of St. Augustine. And it is certainly
It wasn't a bad game.
a good start
if
for...
Caveville could have reduced the errors, it would have been completely different.
So it's a good start there for the volleyball competitions here for UWI Games 2019, would you say?
It's a good start to competition. You'd have wanted to see more fire coming from the Caveville team, especially as the defending champions. You didn't want to see a 3-set. You wanted to see a 3-1 or a 3-2. You know, you like to see when the game is hot and competitive, but I know Caveville is going to brush off. They're going to pull up the socks and they're going to come ready to play the next games. We have the Mona team that is getting ready to play the open campus team now. The last time the Mona team won was in 2015. The open campus is a new campus, new team, and they have something to prove. And I'm looking forward to seeing that game.
All right, so going forward, I'm going to ask you to tell our viewers and possibly persons who would have an inside ability to speak to the teams, what would you ask Caveville, or what would you suggest that Caveville brushes up on going forward?
The serving. Caveville just needs to brush up on their serving going forward. Set choice is very, very important as well. Majority of the sets that they have, they try to get it to the outside attacker. They keep dying on the way outside, so the coach could just tell them to mix it up. Give everybody a chance to get a swing at the ball. Especially in the blocking area, you'd want for the coach to say we need to start stocking. We need to start giving persons 3 blockers instead of isolating where our opponents are spiking against 1 blocker or sometimes no blockers. So there are a lot of areas that they can tighten up in, but namely their service, the serving and the blocking area definitely need to be fixed.
And for Team St. Augustine, what do you think they could improve on?
For Team St. Augustine, they've been passing very well. They don't block very well, so they could fix their blocking as well. In terms of their set choice, I think they need to fix that. As much as how they put up some good numbers on the board here this afternoon, the fact is the Mona team now realize that you will run your plays through the middle. So for the next team that you're going to play, you want to ensure that you mix it up a bit. Run plays going outside, run plays going to your right side attacker as well. And the right side attacker was very involved for them as well. Get the right side attacker more involved, and you can still establish your middle blocker, but don't become predictable.
All right, so you've heard it, ladies and gentlemen. That brings us to the end of our coverage for this match. We'll be right back here for the next match, which will take place at 4 p.m. Mr. Grant will be here to give us some more coverage later on. So thank you so much for joining us, and see you then.